acapella guy.
All right, episode 4 of Real in the Field. We got a new episode out today. We're here, we're back.
Coming at you hot with some shout outs.
Got some shout outs.
Okay.
Just been blowing up.
We are blowing up. We can barely walk the streets of Orange
Oh, dude, we're getting
without being mobbed.
We're getting mobbed.
Orange County, we're blowing up. State of California, I mean, Newsom wants to give us awards.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, and then not only that, we're starting to sweep the nation.
sweep the nation,
Hearing from people from Florida, New York,
coast to coast.
and then even on Spotify.
Yeah,
You guys can watch us on or listen to us on Spotify. We have someone from Belgium.
we got a Belgium listener,
Yes.
a devoted Belgium
Yes.
listener.
All of the episodes so far,
Oh yeah,
we call him our Belgium buddy.
Belgium buddy.
So Belgium buddy, whoever you are.
We got to find out who you are.
Yes.
Tell us your name, put in the comment section, write us, email us. I don't know if we should give out email addresses, but find a way of
Anything.
getting a hold of us.
Yes.
Yeah.
We would love to hear from you. And yeah, thanks for being a fan. Appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Worldwide.
Worldwide, baby.
Yeah. We're out there.
Yeah. And only 4 episodes or 3 episodes all it took.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man.
Building some steam here.
Coming in hot. Coming in hot like Patrick Mahomes at the
Oh,
parade.
man. That
Did
guy.
you see that? He was wasted.
That guy was having a good time.
Yeah.
And
Deserves
rightfully
it.
so. Yeah. I mean, you win the Super Bowl, you know, you put a ring on it. You deserve it. You
Yeah.
deserve to party. I mean, Matthew Stafford last year all the Rams were wasted off their ass.
Yeah.
And, you know, like you said, rightfully so. He should be partying.
And even Tom Brady the year before that.
Oh,
you remember
dude.
he threw the
Throwing the
trophy
trophy?
across? Yeah.
Yeah. So like those guys like deserve to just let loose and enjoy their victory.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes was in good form out there, just partying it up and enjoying it. And I mean, they won Super Bowl. They deserve it.
Yeah.
So there you
But
go.
some changes are happening.
Yeah.
So the typical NFL offseason stuff, you're getting coaching changes,
Oh yeah.
players getting released.
The whole shuffle.
Yes.
The whole NFL shuffle. Shuffle the deck here.
Yeah. So let's just talk about the 2 Super Bowl teams. The Philly lost both coordinators.
Yeah.
Both coordinators left to be head guys somewhere else.
Yeah.
And then the Chiefs offensive coordinator is now gone also.
Yeah. I mean, you build up a resume with, putting that Super Bowl victory on your resume, that automatically just kind of like catapults you to the top in terms of, your credentials as a coach. That's all you got to say. Oh, yeah. You want to know my credentials? Here, you want to know you want my resume?
Yeah.
Here you go. Super Bowl victory. How about
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, can't beat it. So, but that's the thing of like the off season, all that changing, things are kind of evolving, and every organization is trying to figure out what their needs are.
Yeah, everyone goes through that change. I mean, you got coaches coming in, you got coaches, leaving. Everyone's doing the whole shuffle, from NFL, college, I mean, high school level. I mean, you're not exempt from that. You got coaches that come in, you got coaches that leave. What is that like for a coach finding that fit, finding that right fit, finding a new coach to come in to fill a spot? What does that look like, and what is that whole process like?
Yeah. So in my time, we've had to hire some guys and fill some spots. The first thing that you want to you got to have a guy that you get along with.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys spend
Yeah,
all day, every day
oh
with
my
each
gosh,
other.
You spend so much time together. So those little nuances of like, dude, don't talk too much. Don't, you know what I mean? Like don't.
Don't be a Yahoo.
Yes,
Just don't be a
yeah,
Yahoo.
Just be cool. So that's the first thing probably where you're like, dude, you're a good guy.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. You
first
got to
and
get
foremost,
along.
you're a good guy.
Yeah,
Because you're going to be around kids. You're going to be around the kids in the program and stuff, and you got to be a good influence. So
Yeah.
we want a good person first off. After that, they got to align with your philosophy.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, that makes a lot of sense. You got to buy into what we're selling here.
Yeah, exactly.
And if
So-
you're not on board, yeah, you ain't.
Yeah, and we've had some guys come in and not be able to kind of understand that,
Yeah.
and so their time didn't last too long.
It doesn't mesh well. Yeah. I would
so
imagine.
they got to buy in and kind of know their role. But you kind of put the feelers out. Is anyone interested?
Yeah.
Sometimes people reach out to us and be like, hey, you guys looking for coaches? And you just kind of meet them, and then it kind of is a feel thing.
I would imagine
You
it's
know,
like, yeah, I mean, to kind of use the analogy, like going out on a date, you're filling out like what this
for
person, if
sure.
they vibe with your vibe,
Yeah.
if they're, kind of on the same level that you are, if they get your, I mean, kind of get your same humor, things like that, which are all part of going into coaching and how you guys are going to
Yeah.
be out in the field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we go with like baby steps of like, like where have you coached? What do you like to do? What are your philosophies? What are some drills you like to do and stuff?
Yeah.
And so if that box gets checked,
Yeah.
then it's like, okay, let's watch some film together.
Oh,
You know what I mean? And then it's
yeah.
like, well, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? Or what's good on this play?
Oh,
And so
interesting.
you kind of
Okay.
like,
So you can get a lot from
yeah,
like
you
just
teach
that.
me for a second.
Oh,
Pretend
gotcha.
I'm one of your guys. Like,
Yeah.
what would you tell one of your guys right here? So just kind of see their feedback and stuff.
Yeah.
And then if all that's going well, then you got to do paperwork and just make sure that everything's good.
Everything
to go.
else checks out.
Yeah, everything
Right.
else checks out,
Right.
and then when they're on board, and then hopefully it works out.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's not easy.
Well, I would say,
Yeah.
man, just like in kind of looking at the personality aspect of it, that's a huge hurdle. And then qualifications. I mean, you're talking about bringing together all of those different things to be a good fit for the program. And
Yeah.
ultimately, everyone's after the same goal. You guys are trying to chase that ring.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
it's,
At all those levels, yeah.
yeah,
Everyone is.
everyone's after that same goal, get to the big dance.
Yeah.
And if you got the guy that's going to help you get there, it's got to be the right fit. So what are some of the things that you look for? Like, let's say we're looking at film, where you and I are in the coach's office, and
Yeah.
we're looking at film. What are some of the questions that you ask, and what are you looking for kind of in response?
Let's say it's a DB coach.
Sure.
All right, so we're looking at the defensive backs. We'll pull up all the clips that are past clips. We'll watch a play. What can the kid improve on this play? What do you do well on this play?
Oh.
What would you tell the kid on this play? Just so to kind
Yeah.
of get the, maybe his eyes were wrong. Maybe his feet were bad here. Maybe,
Yeah.
whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
And to kind of see his approach on how he would handle it.
Gotcha.
So
that
if he
two
does
things.
it well, yeah. So if he does it well, and I always think this, like, I'm not the smartest football guy, but if I can understand it,
Yeah.
I can get a kid to understand it.
Gotcha.
Right?
Gotcha.
But if someone explains it to me and I'm like, what are you talking about? There's no way a 16-year-old kid's going to get it.
So if they're getting lost in what the coaching, what they're trying to get across, if you're getting lost in it, then more than likely 16-year-old kid's going to get lost in
sure.
whatever it is, and
Yeah.
the outcome's going to be,
Yeah.
you ain't going to be there when that wherever that pass is.
Yeah, exactly. And you got, like, first and foremost, you got to be a good teacher.
Yeah.
Right? And everyone learns differently, so you just, like, it's not easy. Like, it's not, and then just, if they can approach each kid like, okay, this kid learns this way, he might need more reps with this, or
Yeah.
whatever the case may be. But yeah, dude, it's
Well,
not.
what
it's
about
not
like
easy.
with aggression and like we grew up in that era and we've talked about it here before, that the Oklahoma drill,
Yeah.
line up, yell, get in your face. Like, are you looking for intensity in a coach still? Like it was back, back in our day, back in junior American day?
It's style.
Yeah.
And this is something I've learned as I've gotten older. You have to coach your personality,
Yeah.
right? You don't, like, kids can see when you're being fake,
Oh, gotcha.
right?
Yeah.
If you think back to the coaches that we've had, like, the ones that you connect with the most are real.
Yeah.
And they're not trying to be posers as something else. They're not
Yeah.
trying to sell you something else.
They
Like,
are who
dude,
they are.
like as authentic as they can be.
God, yeah.
And there's something to be said for that. I mean, and that's what we try to do with our players. And I'm sure, like, all the great coaches do that.
Yeah.
Like, dude, NFL to college guys, like Nick Saban.
Yeah.
Was Nick Saban ever fake with any of those Alabama guys? That
Doesn't seem like it.
That dude is about as consistent and legit every day.
Yeah. That does make sense that, when someone's straight with you with who they are, you can kind of just, you can take them at their word and you can take them at, their personality and what they're trying to get across. I could see that being, if they're coming at you with something different than what you know them to be, then it just already is, you're coming at them with some they're not authentic.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah,
Not authentic, and you've already kind of started off on the wrong foot.
yeah,
So coming at them like with some authenticity, that's the word that I was trying to look
yeah.
for.
I know. I got it. We all knew. But no, and like, of course, is your personality different? When you're at home, or is it different when you're with your friends? But when you're on the field, or when it's time to coach and you're in that role, like, you have to kind of flip the switch, but your
Yeah.
personality deep down does come out,
Yeah,
right? And if you do want the kids to be great, like, you have to go out there and be great. And so
Yeah.
you try to find coaches, and man, that coaching carousel, like in the NFL, in college, like they just
Yeah.
want a guy that fits.
Well, then when you
Like,
do
with what
find
they
that guy, when you do find that guy that fits, like you hold on and
wanna
you
let 'em
don't let go.
But that's why those dudes make so much money.
Yeah.
If you think about it, they make millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Because if you think about the people who own the Bills, or who owns the Bengals, or whoever it may be,
Yeah.
like, man, we found our head coach
Yeah.
and we trust that guy.
Yeah.
Like, we don't want to let that guy go. Think about all the head coaches that got fired. Think about all the quarterbacks, which I think are like mini head coaches.
Yeah.
Like, dude, Derek Carr's gone. Aaron Rodgers is hiding out in a cave or something. Like, no one knows where that guy is.
Yeah.
So it's like, once you find it, you try to keep it.
Yeah.
But that, everyone's like, oh gosh, these guys make so much money. Well, they're valuable.
Yeah.
They are.
They do a lot to the program, and if
Yeah.
the program is there is a kind of philosophy of the program, and somebody fits that, like you're saying, it's so hard to find that someone who meshes and
Yeah.
who also buys into your philosophy style and who has that personality, where all those things come together. Which makes sense why why coaches stay on board for so long with these teams and they don't go anywhere.
Yeah.
And they that's their philosophy, and then they build the entire staff to kind of work around that and to buy into that same philosophy.
Yeah, and so once you get the coaching staff together, right? Like right now in the off season, the most important coach on staff is the strength coach.
Yeah.
Like every college, every high school, like everyone's lifting.
Yeah.
The most time they're spending is with the strength coach right now. Like, that's the most important guy.
That's the one. Yeah.
Yeah, right now.
Yeah.
The head coach is there, like other coaches are around, but like they're spending a lot of time with that guy.
Yeah.
I
I mean,
so,
it makes sense. Like that's, right now, there's no opponent to scheme after.
it's
There's
you
no,
against you right now.
It's
is
you
what it
against
is,
you,
yeah.
and you're bulking up, and you're getting ready for this new season that's coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So, but not only that, so you get the coaches going, and then you got to get players in, and you got to keep the players, and you got to keep everyone on track. You got to keep everyone eligible. Like,
Yeah.
it's a lot of work, man. It's like, and every year is different. You get a new group of kids, or, in the NFL, they get a new group of guys. You get a veteran come in, you get a rookie come in. Like, things change, and you just got to, dude, it is a grind.
Dude,
and it's hard.
that's the
but
part.
that's what makes it fun. That's
Well,
what
yeah.
makes football.
Oh,
like,
and that's
awesome.
what why not only is it the drama that unfolds in the field when we're watching it, but this has started from day one, from the day after the Super Bowl was over until the season starts.
Oh, yeah, it's on.
It's on. It's already
Yeah.
started. The combine's coming up this weekend. There's there's the draft that's coming up. There's all of this drama that's already kind of starting to unfold, where teams are now reshaping and having to figure out what their next move is going to be because a coach left, or because their quarterback left, and now they need to fill that roster spot, or somebody defensive lineman is retiring, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And now here you are trying to figure out how are we gonna mold this team. Our defense was kind of surrounding this one particular player that now we
Yeah.
have to figure out how we're gonna readjust and
Yeah.
redesign our entire defense to be a little bit more or a little different than what it was before with that one player.
Yeah, and that's why when like people look at coaches and like take Andy Reid or
Yeah.
dude, Andy Reid, he's coached Brett Favre, he's
Yeah.
coached Patrick Mahomes, like he's got to
That guy's got a pedigree.
Donovan McNabb,
Yeah.
Michael Vick, he's like coached great guys. Like, don't get me wrong, good players
Yeah.
make it way easier. They make good coaches.
Yeah, when you got a
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes can
Yeah.
do what he
when
does.
when you got those guys, but Andy Reid's been at it for 30 something years or whatever. But like every year, like you could probably ask him, every year is a little bit different.
Yeah.
You just have a different combo of guys. You have a different combination of whatever.
Oh, one person can make the biggest difference in your defense.
And that's what makes like coaching like hard.
Yeah, it's
and,
like
and fun, but it's hard.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a chess game. Everyone's trying to play this game within the rules that are set, and you have different pieces that you can move here and there, and it's a matter of putting those pieces where they can be most like advantageous, and then figuring out if that piece is gone, how do we work the board to our favor again?
Yeah.
And it's just a continuous just kind of battle to figure that game out.
But that's why in the NFL, like things can change at a drop of a hat. Like the Bucks won it. And what was the missing piece? They needed a quarterback. They got Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Right? The Rams.
Get? Same thing. Yeah, they got an old time veteran.
They got Matthew Stafford.
Matthew Stafford just came in and slang it. Pretty much just gave it to Cooper Kupp every damn play. But hey, listen, that formula worked.
Ex facto, whatever. It all worked.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then then you get the Chiefs. They even got rid of Tyreek Hill, and everyone's like, oh God, how are they going to win?
Yeah.
But dude, you get a guy here, or change the role of someone else here.
Yeah.
And like every year, like it could be somebody else. They were missing just one thing.
One thing, yeah.
Or they
and
moved
then it
a
comes
couple
down.
there.
Yeah, with the kind of the worst or the best, whichever perspective you're in, is you got all the pieces together. You got to that final play or that final game, and it just something happened. Something broke down in that last second.
Yeah.
You put all the pieces together and made it make sense. Hey, Cooper Kupp doesn't make that catch in the end zone on that in that fourth quarter play.
Yeah.
Different. It's different. The history is written differently. You know what I mean? No, but that's why we enjoy the game. That's why we love watching it. That's why you love coaching, and we'll continue to do that. But we got to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to play a little game. What game we got coming up next?
We're going to go back to an old crowd favorite. We're going to go overrated, underrated, or just right, but with a new category.
New category. All right. So we'll be back after this break with that game. Today's episode is brought to you by DK's Donuts of Orange. DK's is family owned and operated and carries a wide selection of freshly baked donuts. Stop by for a morning treat, an afternoon snack, or even a late night sugar fix. Follow their Instagram page at DK's Donuts Orange for store information or to order online.
All right,
let's get into it.
Here we go. Overrated, underrated, or just right. Last time we played this game, we went with bands.
Yeah.
Today, we're going to go TV shows.
All right, TV shows. Okay.
Some of these I know that you've seen.
Okay.
Some of these I don't know if you've seen.
All right.
These are all off the cuff. So, you ready?
Let's do it.
Right off the bat, Seinfeld.
Seinfeld. That is a classic. I don't think many people can claim that it's overrated. It's gotten, it's the ending was like one of the most watched episodes like in TV history.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody, however you feel about the ending, it was kind of a weird one, but even still, I think the hype that it's gotten is where it should be. Not at all overrated, and I don't think it's underrated. I think it's right where it should be, and I think everybody understands that was a pretty, it was a different show.
Oh.
Think about
1,000%.
What it would take to get that kind of show on the air at that time. If you pitch that to somebody, what is this show about? It's about absolutely nothing.
Yeah. Dude, and the collection of characters were
unconventional.
Awesome together.
They
together.
all worked. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody individually brought something really solid.
Yeah.
And collectively just made, awesome ensemble. Just right.
Just
Absolutely,
right?
Yeah.
Okay. I agree. Just right. I rewatched them all on Netflix, dude.
Dude, when they came back on, on Netflix, it was solid.
All right, here we go. Mad Men.
I love Mad Men. Dude, I've seen Mad Men. I've seen every episode probably 3 or 4 times. I love that show.
Okay.
Something about that era, something about that.
Oh, the era is sweet.
Yeah. Just the I don't know, the suits, the hats. I don't know. It was a different time. You know what I mean?
Drinking and smoking.
It doesn't even take me back because I never knew it. But yeah, oh man, I swear I can stop drinking for a really long time. Just no drinks during the week. I'll have some drinks on the weekend. If I start watching Mad Men, I'm just I'm gonna go pour myself a whiskey.
Yes.
It's middle of the day, and I'm like, well, if Don Draper's gonna do it, damn it, I could have a drink right now too.
Okay, so just right.
Yeah, just right.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, don't tell me. What are you going to say?
Okay. So I watched as much as I could.
Oh, jeez.
There were two characters that I could not get over. I couldn't
Okay.
get past them.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know the dude. He was like the
Skinny
dorky
dude?
guy.
The
He was
skinny
the
dude?
dorky, skinny guy, young guy,
Okay.
who was like trying to be a big shot.
Yeah.
He just drove me up the wall. I couldn't take it. Then there was a gal
Okay.
who was like, I don't know. She wasn't like pretty.
Unconventional.
Yeah. She
Yeah.
wasn't like pretty. But
She's-
she was like a secretary of some
Dude,
sort.
yeah, Peggy Olson. Yeah. Peggy Olson is dude, that character develops like over the years like you wouldn't
Okay.
even like believe.
Okay.
She goes from spoiler alert. She goes from secretary to being a copywriter to being like a pivotal, like she is such a pivotal character in that whole series. And it's, without seeing it, it's kind of hard to explain like why she's so important to the main character, Don Draper, and his whole, his whole character, his arc, like from start to finish. Like she plays such a big role in it. And from the start, she's just this, secretary that, is,
She's
I know what
very
you're saying.
mousy.
She's very mousy. Yeah.
I just couldn't.
Interesting looking,
Yeah.
But by the end of it, dude, she like transforms like a butterfly
Okay. Easy there.
into this into this like really good role. But dude, I love that. I love that show so much.
All right. Next one, Friends.
Oh, overrated. Oh, that's so overrated. That show, if you took out the laugh track, where are the laughs? Where are the laughs in that?
That's a good point. That's a good point.
It's not. I mean, situational. It's funny, kind of in some of the situations that they get themselves into, but it's not. There isn't anything that's like really. I don't know. It doesn't really. I don't know. Maybe I just don't get it.
Okay. No, you said it right here. Overrated.
How about you?
I'm with you. It is a little overrated.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the sitcom stuff gets me because it's like, I'm gonna throw the softball joke at you,
Yeah.
and then here comes the punchline, and you just hit it out the park.
Yeah.
And when that's over and over again, like it gets to be a little much.
Yeah. I think, I'll say just to kind of be fair, like when it was, I guess in its prime, like I did watch it and I guess I did enjoy it, but it wasn't only until like in hindsight when you look back and go like, wait, why was that funny? It wasn't really, it wasn't funny for like, like the jokes weren't like all that funny. I don't know. Maybe it's just like
Maybe you
in
got
hindsight.
caught up in it.
I think I did get caught up in
Yeah.
it. I did. Yeah.
So right now we're going overrated.
Yeah, I do. I'm gonna just say like hindsight overrated.
Okay. All right. Out on Netflix, Peaky Blinders.
Oh man, I haven't seen enough of it. I've seen like 1 or 2 episodes, and it's
so good.
well. Okay, so for me, Mad Men is that like a TV series that was shot in a certain kind of era, time period.
What do they call that? An era piece or what's that?
I don't know. Someone's gonna correct us.
I know, timepiece, whatever.
But timepiece, yeah. But it's. I think I've heard a lot about it. I just haven't gotten into it, so I guess overrated for that reason.
No way, dude. It is so good. So
Is
those
it?
of you that haven't seen Peaky Blinders, it is money. Okay, it is so good. The first couple episodes, it takes your ear a little bit to like
Okay.
understand their accents.
Oh, I do remember that.
Okay,
I
so
do
like
remember
the first
that.
couple episodes, you're like, "What are they, dude?" And then next thing you know, you fall
Yeah.
in love with Tommy Shelby, and the
okay.
whole, it is
Okay.
so good.
Oh,
so
maybe
good.
I have to get into it
Yeah,
then. All right.
yeah. This one I know you've seen.
Okay.
Because you turned me onto this one.
Oh.
Breaking Bad.
Oh, best. That is the number one
So
best
good.
TV series from start to finish. The best ending, the best, like all around. There was so much thought that went into that entire series from the start, middle, and end. I've never seen a character that went from being so loved for the very like I don't know like half of the entire series to then being like completely switched, and you hate him by the end of it.
Yeah.
It is it is like the best ending, the best middle, the best begin, like all around, just best. Not overrated by a long shot. And if anything, it's underrated. People should watch more of it. I think it's on a lot of people's like top, best TV series of all
Yeah,
time.
no, it's up there.
I would say, yeah,
Yeah, but I agree. I think it's underrated. I think
Yeah.
not enough people talk about it.
yeah,
Dude, Heisenberg, the whole character. When the show was so good, there was a spin-off, Better Call Saul.
Oh, which
in
was
itself
equally
was
as
even
good.
great,
Yeah.
right? So that just showed the power of the characters that were in the original.
Yeah.
Right? You could spin off and just take it, and then they did the movie, like to wrap it up. And
Yeah.
no, dude, that
So
show
what I heard,
was really good.
Yeah, what I heard is Vince
Gilligan.
Vince
Yeah.
Gilligan, who was the writer creator of the show. He would box himself in a corner. He would come out and he would kind of like, Quentin Tarantino it and go ending first, and then how do I work myself out of this? Which is why some of those situations where you're like, there's no way they're getting out of this. I don't see a way. And it wasn't in a way that was so. It wasn't in a way that was kind of like a middle finger to the audience, where this, sometimes you see this like where people or TV shows will go down this road where something will happen where you're like, oh, what a coincidence that happened. It was never that. They always were very kind of respectful of the audience and, everyone's intelligence to kind of say, all right, we're not going to make this kind of like, really short, shitty kind of way to get these guys out of a situation. It always made sense, and it always was very thoughtful.
Yeah,
and
if anything, I felt they were a step ahead
Yeah.
of the audience, of me. Like
Yeah.
every time
Oh,
watching
yeah.
it, I'm like,
I couldn't.
these guys are, these
There's
guys are
nothing that
amazing.
I
They're
could
blowing
have
me
thought
away.
of.
Yeah.
I never could have thought of
Yes.
like how they're like if you just kind of sat me down and paused it at, hey, what's going to happen next?
Yeah.
And how are they going to get themselves out of it?
Yeah.
Dude, I would never have thought that they would get out of it in the way that they did. It just was, it always like surprised you, but also in a weird way, it was always very obvious. Like once it happened, like, of course, that's the way. And and it leaves you so happy.
But they built it.
Yeah.
They did a great job of every tense moment, dude. They built it. And you're just like,
Oh, it's going to happen.
Oh my God. Like, and then, but then there are those times in the episodes where it's like, you watch a series and you're like, oh God, he's the main character. Nothing's going to happen to him. Right? Not in this show.
Yeah.
Where there's like build up, and then you're like,
Yeah. And they would call back to things that like, happened in the very beginning of the episode or the beginning of the series, or sorry, the beginning of that season. And it was like that little nugget that we kind of dropped there is going to come off and it's going to pay dividends later on, like in the finale. And you're like, I waited all these episodes and it was so much more enjoyable to
so
see it unfold the way that it did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Underrated.
underrated. Love it. Obviously, we both love it. Go watch it.
Yeah.
All right. Next one, Sopranos.
Oh, that is just right. It is up there with Breaking Bad as one of the best TV series, except the ending.
Okay.
The ending was, dude, people are I'm sure going to be split on this.
Yeah.
The ending sucked. It was talking about Breaking Bad not giving you a middle finger.
Yeah.
Sopranos gave you the middle finger and said, we don't know what the ending is going to be. We'll leave it up to you. That's not why I watched The Sopranos. I watched TV so that you could tell me a story and then have a nice, clean ending and wrap everything up, especially when I've invested 10 years into this show. You're going to leave this ambiguous ending and leave me kind of making up my own mind of what happened. That's not how TV works. If I wanted to do that, I would write my own story.
I do that in my own life.
Yeah, don't give me some ambiguous ending. I want a definitive. I want to know what happened. And there's some, I guess maybe some times that works where they leave this kind of like leave you on a hang.
Like a cliffhanger or whatever. Yeah.
This wasn't one of them. This was like the end. When they like the ending, everybody was just like confused. Like, wait, what just did my TV go out? If you haven't seen the ending and you haven't seen the series, like I won't spoil it for you. Let's just say it wasn't a great ending. It just kind of went out on a fizzle. Having said all that, it's one of the best TV shows ever made.
Okay, so just right or
yeah, it's just right.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Next one up, House of Cards.
Oh, that was good for like, I don't even know how many seasons it had.
I think they did 6 in total,
Oh man, that is way more than I thought that
or
they.
it was 5 or 6.
Well, however many they had.
Frank Underwood made it through 5, and then he
Yeah,
got a little,
got a little, got a little
got a
handsy.
little he got a little, little touchy feely with the wrong people.
Yeah, went all
Kevin Spacey there. Ooh.
went
Yeah,
all old pervy on him.
yeah,
Yeah, I think that show for the first like couple seasons was really, really great. It was good
yeah.
writing. It was like really interesting. It was captivating, and it had me. And I think it just kind of it went too like one dimensional. It kind of it just rode that same. It was like a one trick pony, right?
Yeah.
Like just stayed on that same thing, of him being, evil, Mr. Bad Guy, and it just kind of never really kind of transitioned. It never really kind of went into a different direction. And I think for that reason, it just like it is a little overrated for
Okay.
me.
Yeah.
Aside from like the Kevin Spacey, stuff that happened on the side.
Yeah.
But just the show itself, a little overrated.
Yeah,
I don't know, what do you see?
I would say it's probably just right. Like the first couple episodes were hot; they were great.
Yeah.
And then without him, and then all that, like it just got weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
okay, moving on. Next one, Arrested Development.
Oh, that is underrated.
A lot of people
Underrated.
haven't seen it.
I know. Dude, it is. It is such a smart, funny. The characters are so like interesting and silly.
Based in
and
Orange County,
Based in
California.
Orange County. Yeah.
right.
I mean, maybe that's what put some people off
It's
to
us,
it.
baby. It's
Yeah.
us. Yeah.
But that whole show, the like just the if you watch if you watch some of like go back and watch just what's his name, Buster. I mean, just that guy in itself, just watching him is
Dude,
just
that
like,
actor did a great
yeah,
job.
Tony Hale is that guy's amazing. He is like the funniest, like just his character is just so funny. But you can watch that like 10 different times. Like you can watch the same episode or even the same scene and just see something different like every time. That's how it is actually in Veep. I don't know if you've seen Veep.
Yes.
Yeah,
Love
dude.
Veep.
Watch Tony Hale in that character and in that show. It's the same thing. You can watch that episode like 10 times and you'll catch something different each time.
Dude.
He's doing something different. I mean,
Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
yeah.
Okay. My heart stole my heart a little bit in Seinfeld.
Yeah.
In Veep.
Yeah.
She got this guy.
took it, yeah.
She got this guy. Yeah. But Arrested Development, if you haven't seen it, it's so underrated.
watch
It's
it.
such a great show.
Gotta watch it.
Okay.
The first 3 seasons were kind of, well, they came out with some like newer seasons.
Yeah, they tried it.
It was like a weird one. The first one was, not the first one, but the fourth one, which was like the first one back after a really long
Yeah.
period. I guess no one's schedule really aligned, so they had to do this like really kind of tricky thing where they like did everyone's part separately and then kind of try to like melt, like bring it together, and it just didn't really work. Then they did a season after that, but everybody had kind of like gotten older, and it was like just wasn't the same kind
Yeah.
of feel
It's
and
hard to
vibe.
get that spark.
Yeah, it's hard to trying to capture like lightning in a bottle.
Yeah.
But dude, those first 3 seasons, oh man, those are so good.
So good.
So good.
Okay. So we're going to change a little bit to cartoons.
Oh, okay.
You get 3 choices.
Okay.
You got to pick one.
All right.
Family Guy, American Dad. Well, I'll give you 4.
All right.
Simpsons. Or South Park.
Oh man, each are kind of like unique in their own way.
Give me one. Give me one.
Well, all right. You got Simpsons that are classic. They've gone. I think they've got the like formula down. So now it's just kind of like plug and play, right?
Yes, agree.
I don't know what their formula is, but I'm pretty sure they've got it down to like a science. Like add here, there, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
It still works. It's still funny. Later episodes, kind of, or newer ones are kind of. They're not like they weren't like what they used to be. Kind of like Arrested Development. But man, there's like that sweet spot. There's a sweet spot where The Simpsons were so damn funny, so poignant, so like just kind of clever. I don't know what year that was.
Okay, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Was that them or is that the period of like just life?
No, I get what
You know
you're
what I
saying,
mean?
but I
Like,
would say that it's for sure that like whatever the writing was during that time.
okay.
Monorail kind of like, kind of like
writing.
there's
Okay,
like
I
if
got
that's
you.
like the kind of like the point monorail. It's like kind of before that and after that. But I don't know what the span is for
Right.
that. But it's somewhere in that kind of area where there was just like a sweet spot of Simpsons just
So
being
you're going
so
with
good.
Simpsons.
Well, I kind of have to. I do. Family
Really?
Guy is really, really funny too, and so is American Dad, and South Park. South Park is just. It was. I mean, it's a no
Dude,
doubt.
we grew up on
Grew
South
up on
Park,
South
yeah.
Park. It was introduced to us. It was like this new thing. But I think that just that era of Simpsons will just kind of forever be like that. I don't know, just kind of tied to my memory and tied to
Yeah.
So I have to go Simpsons. All right, what do you go? Who you go with?
I'm gonna go. Well, growing up with South Park, I got a special place for them.
Yeah.
Got really into it. Cartman. I used to like draw Cartman.
Oh,
and like
nice.
stuff like that. You know what I mean? My cousin worked in the music industry, and somehow she got a copy of like their very first episode. They couldn't even air it. They couldn't
Oh,
even air it
whoa.
because the language was so bad.
Yeah.
And she like brought it like Christmas or whatever. Was like, hey, watch this. This is like this new show.
Whoa.
And they were like killing Santa, like all this like weird stuff. So like I kind of there. They kind of went off the rails a little bit. But dude, American Dad is
show is so
friggin'
good.
hilarious.
Oh, what's the son's name? I forget his name.
Steve.
Steve. Dude, that
Dude,
guy
it's
is-
so good. Klaus the fish and Roger the alien. Like, dude, I don't know. There's something about that show. And I think Seth MacFarlane,
Yeah.
he left Family Guy at one point, right?
I think he just kind of gave it to.
Yeah, he
like
handed
kind
it
of
off.
like handed it off.
So I think when he left there, he went to American Dad.
Yeah.
Dude, and their episodes got like significantly better.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, damn.
And I think that's where like,
That's where it got
dude,
you.
I was just like, dude, this show's awesome. Yes, I love it. So I'm going to go American Dad.
That's respectable. Yeah.
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 But dude, growing up as a kid, I remember coming home or like going to my grandma's house after school and
Yeah.
stuff. Dude, and watching Saved by the Bell.
Oh man, that's classic.
Kelly Kapowski.
Oh, everyone had a crush on
Oh,
Kelly.
baby.
Oh yeah, Kelly
Yeah.
Kapowski. Oh, Kelly Kapowski. What's the Boy Meets World? Topanga.
Oh.
Dude.
Well, now you're dipping into like the TGIF Friday
right.
shows. Remember
yeah. Family Matters. Was that
those?
on there?
Yes. Urkel, yeah.
What was the other one? Step by Step.
Step by Step, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Step by Step was on there. Full House.
Full House, right.
Maybe Full House a little bit in that.
Yeah. The Tanners.
Oh, the Tanner family, man. Uncle Jesse, baby, that guy. But yeah, dude, no, there were some great Boy Meets World,
Yeah.
Step by Step,
Yeah.
like all that stuff.
Oh,
but
man.
dude, Saved by the Bell, I loved it.
Yeah.
So Saved by the Bell, and then there was also California Dreams. Did you ever see California Dreams?
Oh, was that when they went off to college?
No. That's the college years.
Oh, right.
But California Dreams was the band that would play.
Oh.
Do you remember the band?
Dude, they would play at the
At like the burger place?
yeah.
And they were band. They were called California Dreams. And oh my God. Dude, and Jake on the guitar was like this bad biker guy and like all this stuff. Yeah, dude. I love that show.
Oh, that's good.
But Saved by the
Classic.
Bell.
I love
Loved
that.
it.
Love it for sure. No, just right. Yeah,
Just right.
Yeah.
Just right on those. Yeah, so that ends our overrated, underrated, and just right game.
Dude, some classic stuff there. All right, we're going to take one more break. We'll be back. We'll get into a little bit of some real estate talk when we get back here. Yeah, we'll be back.
All right.
All right. Today's episode is brought to you by Caliber Real Estate Group. Caliber and their team of experienced agents are dedicated to providing personalized and professional service to ensure that your real estate goals are met with ease. Caliber specializes in a wide range of properties from luxurious estates to cozy starter homes, and they have the expertise to guide you through every step of the buying or selling process. Click the link in the episode's page to start your journey towards finding the perfect property or getting top dollar for your investment.
So since all of our videos have come out,
Yeah.
all my fans are asking me of what am I gonna do on my real estate journey?
Oh,
Like, am I going to buy a house now?
Yeah.
What's my plan? What's going on? So let's just say hypothetically, like I'm ready to like get after it and get going.
yeah.
What is the current state of the market?
So you,
What am I looking at?
Yeah, you'd be coming in at an interesting time. Right now, I mean, everyone talks, we talked on the first episode about interest rates and where they're at and how that plays a part into your overall budget. So interest rates are still, kind of hovering in that 6% kind of neighborhood, which historically is about average, and I know it's people, seeing 6% when compared to the 3% that we saw.
I was gonna say how long ago was that?
It was only about a year and change. So it's, people get the bends going from that. And a lot of people are just kind of getting trigger shy. They don't want to, they've seen their budget kind of dwindle down because, I don't want to say dwindle, but they've seen their budget be lower than what it was a couple of years ago. And especially if people have like went out and got pre-qualified back then and saw what they could afford and what their monthly payment was. When they see what it is now, it's, some people are just a little bit disheartened by that, and they're a little hesitant. So, but one of the things that has changed from then is now there are less buyers that are out in the market, which
Okay.
means that you don't have to compete as much or as hard as you needed to back then. So about a year ago, maybe going on 2 years now, if you were going to go out and buy a house, you had to go in there with your best offer. You had to go in over asking. You had to remove some of your like contingencies, which are just kind of safeguards that you put in place, like inspections. You want to see if the roof is good,
Right.
if the foundation's good, if there's termites. People were waiving
Asbestos.
that, asbestos, things like that.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, just to win a property, to get into it because it was so competitive, they just said, hey, we're going to waive all that. We're not going to do an inspection. We're just going to, we'll take it as is. And the reality is, you want to you want to be able to get into a property and know that you're making a good sound investment. And it's a little scary, or it's a little I guess when you go into it and you haven't checked everything out, there's a little bit of like uncertainty on what you're getting. You want to go in there and you want to be able to take a look at what's underneath the roof and see if there's anything wrong with it.
Yeah.
Now you can do that. Now it's a different market. Now, because there aren't as many buyers out there, you can go in there and you can actually kick some tires around and see what's what and make a good honest offer. You can kind of get into negotiations with the seller and figure out if you do want to in fact buy this house. It's a positive thing. It's kind of how the market should be. You should be able to go in there and negotiate with the seller, figure out what this house is worth, and then offer what you think it's worth. If maybe their prices you think is a little high, you should be able to go in there and kind of negotiate. Or even if it's just going in there and the price is right, and you just want to make sure that it's a good sound investment, and there's nothing in there that you're gonna be left holding the bag, or whatever that saying is, of having to pay
Yeah.
for something that you didn't check out. So it's a better time, I think, for anybody, any buyer, to get in and to be able to make a good sound like purchase of a property and not have to wonder, did they make a mistake and we waived some of our contingencies and now we have to actually do some of the work that should have been done before we even purchased it.
Yeah. I've heard the term like seller's market, buyer's market, and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So like, what does this fall under?
It's kind of a little bit of both. So it before it was definitely a seller's market, and if you were selling your property, you could name your price, and everybody was clamoring to get into something. But It's a little bit different now because there aren't as many buyers as there were. Like we talked about, you can kind of go in there and do your negotiation, but it's still very much it leans towards sellers because there's just not enough houses for sale, and there's still a lot of demand for houses in Southern California, in Orange County specifically.
Sure.
So it is still a seller's market. I don't think anybody would make that argument that it's all in the buyer's favor. It's really not. If you have a property and you're looking to sell it, you still have a lot of leverage, and there aren't a lot of properties that are out there. But with interest rates, where they're at compared to where they were before, it has kind of dialed back the amount of buyers that are out there. But right now, kind of talking about right now specifically, we're starting to see a lot more buyers come into the market. We're starting to see a lot more people that were on the sidelines waiting to see what was going to happen. Now they're kind of getting in there, and they're realizing, okay, maybe prices aren't going to just fall off like they did 2008 when there was a big, huge market crash. There's no indication that that's going to be the case where prices are just going to fall completely, fall down and go to and crash. There's no indication that that's going to happen. It's a lot different of a market than it was in 2008. So I think a lot of the buyers that were on the sidelines and just kind of watching what was happening and expecting there to be this crash, they're seeing that there hasn't been a big movement in pricing. Some of the prices have kind of leveled off, but they haven't fallen to where people were kind of thinking that they were going to fall to. So you're starting to see a lot more people just go, hey, I'm going to get in here before it gets too crazy.
Yeah, just go for it.
Go for it right now.
Yeah.
Because if rates were to drop,
could they get worse?
well, they could, but there's a lot of smart people, way smarter than me, have speculated that rates are going to go down, not by a huge margin, but even a point difference it's a big drop, and that kind of just a drop in the interest rates triggers a lot of people, a lot of buyers to get back in there because the difference between 1 point or a 6% and a 5.5%, it's a big difference. People don't want to. They're very kind of reactive, when they see these things that are happening. A lot of people will just kind of react based on what comes out. There's a report that comes out that's like, oh yeah, rates are gonna like drop. Everybody kind of just like holds off until that moment, right? Other people, like if they hear rates are gonna go up, then they kind of jump into it, But a lot of the I don't want to say smart people, but people that have a plan, they will figure out, a lot of that kind of part of it where you're looking at interest rates, high or low, that does play a part, obviously, into your, budget and your approach on how you're going to buy a house. But you got to have to go in there with the long-term plan and what you're trying to do. And the people who have a plan in place, they don't have to necessarily be reactionary to these things like big jumps or drops high or low in the market. They can go in with a plan and say, here's my budget, here's what I want to buy, here's my plan for this property. I want to stay in it for 5 years and then I want to sell it, or I want to be in it for 10 years and then rent it out and buy a new property. And, interest rates are definitely a factor in that, but they're not, because they're a variable and they're adjustable. You can get out of that interest rate and get into a better one later on. So people with the plan and, kind of going back to what your plan would be, it would just be, all right, what kind of plan are you looking for? What are you looking to accomplish with this? And what are you looking to do with the property? Are you looking to stay in it for long term? Is this going to be like the term that you've used before? Is this going to be your forever home?
Yeah.
Is this going to be your stepping stone? And if that's the case, then we need to shape our plan to kind of accomplish that goal. That might mean buying right now when there's less competition. And that's depends on the situation. Somebody might be better off buying when interest rates are higher and there aren't enough buyers or not as many buyers because their offer wouldn't be as strong otherwise. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, the field's a little bit weaker, and so get in the game now.
Exactly. Yeah. And so if you just look at it from a practical standpoint, if there are 10 offers on a house and they're all over asking, and the people that are offering have 20% down, have 50% down, have like high income, and you're one of 10 and you're not that strong, you ain't winning that property.
Yeah.
And conversely, if you're putting an offer on a house and there's 2 offers, you're one of 2, and now that competition is a lot less. Now maybe you can, maybe you'll add in an extra $10,000 to up the, to make your offer that much better.
Yeah.
It's a lot different than if you're going against 10 other people.
Yeah. No,
So
that makes sense.
it's just a matter of like, what your plan is with the property and how to kind of go about how you go about figuring that part out.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. We're not going to tell people this episode. We're going to wait. You got to wait.
Yeah.
We're going to wait till the further episodes to see what I do with my
On your real estate
my
journey.
real estate adventure. A little cliffhanger there for everyone for this episode.
We'll figure it out.
That's right.
All right. Well, I think that's wraps up this episode of Real in the Field. Episode 4. Man, we are just knocking these things out. Blazing. Big shout out to our Belgium buddy. Thanks for listening. Hope you listen to this one. And if you do, write in. Put a comment in the comment section below.
Let us know. And
thanks again for listening. So that'll do it. I guess let's wrap it up.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Stay tuned for another episode of Real in the Field. We'll be back next week. If you like what you hear, leave a comment in the comment section below. Like and subscribe. And as always, we'll be back next week with another episode.
That's right. Thank you.
All right. See ya. And that was our show. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like what you heard, go ahead and leave a comment in the comment section below. Like, subscribe. And as always, we'll be back next week with another episode of Real in the Field podcast. Until then, we'll talk to you.